I don't think it's possible to be a true horror gamer if you're not familiar with the one and only Little Nightmares. This unique game has captured our interest for so many reasons. Besides its amazing style and design, it's actually insanely terrifying and challenging in a way that makes us interested in diving deeper into its dark and beautiful world. However, things don't last forever, and so far we only have 2 installments of the game, and the third one is still some time away. That's pretty much what inspired me to make today's video, because what many people don't know is that there are actually several other games that can help you have a similar experience to that in Little Nightmares. These games are very creative and have their own theme and method of providing a special experience for players, but you will definitely notice the same amazing aspects that made us fall in love with Little Nightmares. With that being said, some of the titles on the list are not necessarily as scary or particularly linked to the horror category, but they're undeniably fun and suitable for the topic. So without further ado, let's start. Limbo and Little Nightmares share a similar spirit, as both games are dark, cinematic, and terrifying. You will assume the role of a young boy who wakes up in a dark forest, where a spider is attempting to kill him. The goal is to navigate the forest, avoid spike traps, and fend off attackers while escaping danger. The puzzles in Limbo often involve manipulating objects in the environment, timing movements precisely, and deciphering the game's subtle clues. Although challenging, the game is also incredibly eerie, and it effectively creates tension and unease through its minimalist presentation, ambient sounds, and oppressive atmosphere. So if you're searching for games similar to Little Nightmares, Limbo should definitely be one of your top choices.
What is this place?
This interactive story is told from the perspective of a helpless toddler named David. David is caught in the middle of a parental feud, which is understandably difficult for a child of his age to comprehend. However, things take a turn when David receives a teddy bear as a gift, and the bear leads him on a frightening journey to find his mother Zoe, who has gone missing. As players control the kid, they navigate through various environments, including the child's house, a dark forest, and surreal dreamlike sequences. The gameplay focuses on exploration, puzzle solving, and avoiding or confronting supernatural entities that lurk in the shadows. The child's vulnerability and limited understanding of the world create a sense of suspense and fright throughout the game. The perspective of a toddler also adds a unique and unsettling element, as you must rely on your instincts and limited abilities to survive the encounters and uncover the truth behind what's happening. The fact that David is too young to defend himself against the horrors he encounters contributed to making the game's main fear factor come from getting used to the limited abilities of a child, which is actually an incredible challenge that hardcore gamers would really enjoy.
just human nature.
So first, Joey installs this ink machine over our heads.
At this point, I don't get what Joey's plan is for this company. The animations sure aren't being finished on time anymore.
Oh, Mr. Drew. You are the true architect behind so many nightmares.
Everything feels like it's coming apart.
When do we go home?
Wow. I don't remember any of this.
Have you met him? The ink demon. They say he hears everything.
In the morning, you may wait. Or in the morning, you'll be dead.
There's a whole twisted world.
This game is a first-person survival horror adventure that revolves around the story of Henry Steen, a retired animator who receives an enigmatic letter asking him to come back to his former workplace. When he reaches there, he finds out that paranormal activities are occurring due to the ink machine. Players are required to solve puzzles, defeat foes, and collect objects while unraveling the mystery through eerie audio logs scattered throughout the studio. The classic animation style adds to its frightful elements, making it similar to a horror version of Cuphead. The game in general is exceptionally creepy, which makes it a perfect alternative for games such as Little Nightmares. Detention is a horror game that takes place during the White Terror period in Taiwan in the 1960s. And in case you didn't know, that era was a dark period in Taiwan's history that included the political repression of Taiwanese civilians and the rise of violence on the island. The game's unique art style is incredibly effective in creating a moody and eerie atmosphere, and the fantastic design of the lingering presence is a constant and terrifying threat that players must navigate. The elements of the experience fit together seamlessly, making it a rare masterpiece. It is also one of the few games that can maintain suspense levels effectively without being repetitive or expectable, which can make playing the game feel like psychological torture at times. However, gradually learning about the cursed school's history while getting closer to the impending tragedy makes the play worthwhile and satisfying. I'm not sure if this game can fit your taste because it's actually way more terrifying, deep, and dark than titles like Little Nightmares, but when it comes to quality, I'm positive that it's very suitable for hardcore horror enthusiasts. Yarny is the central character of Unravel, an adventure game that utilizes physics. He's a creature made from a single thread of yarn that gradually unravels as you progress through the story. This allows him to move, swing, and interact with various objects as he journeys through each level. Despite being a symbol of the bonds that unite us, Yarny's appearance can be somewhat unsettling, and although the story is touching, it is also completely silent. There are many thrilling moments, and some may interpret Unravel as more of a horror game than anything else. But the most important thing is that fans of Little Nightmares will notice similarities in gameplay mechanics, and that's exactly the main reason why it's on the list. In We Happy Few, the player takes on the role of characters trapped in the fictional city of Wellington Wells, where the population is controlled by the government through the use of a drug called joy. Joy is a hallucinogenic substance that makes people happy and oblivious to the grim reality around them. Meanwhile, those who refuse to take joy are considered downers and are shunned by society. The game offers different playable characters, each with their own unique storylines and abilities. Players must navigate the city, scavenge for resources, and avoid detection by blending in with the joy-taking citizens. Combat is generally discouraged, and stealth and deception are key to survival. Even though this title has its flaws and is definitely not perfect, it's really a fun experience that deserves to be given a try.
No, leave me alone. I took my joy. No, leave me alone. No. Oh, hi, Arthur.
The heat is unbearable. What's the matter with my eyes?
You!
Come back!
Where did she go? Fight her!
Try sneaking past me.
Everything here seems rather unearthly. Is this another dream?
Another Sight is a game that stands out from the rest due to its unique setting and an alternative version of London in 1899. It tells the story of Catherine Kitt Edison, a teenager who finds herself newly blind in an old version of London with only a mysterious cat named Hodge to help her navigate her new environment. The game is a surreal fantasy adventure where gamers follow the story of Kit and Hodge on a journey beyond sight and the real world. It's a tale of affection and intrigue that is woven throughout the adventure, touching on trust, companionship, and the consequences of losing what we take for granted. So even though this title is probably not as stressful and frightening as Little Nightmares, it's actually a unique and emotional experience that's not similar to anything we've played before.
Pussycat. If only I could see the other side.
Hello Neighbor is a popular stealth horror game that's way more intense than it might look. Players take on the role of a curious protagonist who suspects that their neighbor is hiding a dark secret in their basement. The objective is to sneak into the neighbor's house, explore its rooms, solve puzzles, and uncover the mystery while avoiding detection at the same time. The game features an advanced intelligence system for the neighbor character, who adapts to the player's actions and becomes more challenging to evade as the game progresses. It offers a suspenseful and immersive experience as you attempt to outsmart the neighbor's traps and surveillance while collecting clues to unravel the neighbor's secrets. So if you're looking for a fun challenge that can test your fast reactions and stealth skills, then Hello Neighbor should be included in your game library. The game inside shares similarities with Limbo, which is an obvious thing considering that both were created by the same developer. The plot revolves around a young boy who is lost in a dense and dark forest and must escape from masked guards equipped with flashlights. The gameplay involves avoiding zombie-like people, navigating through a flooded factory, and exploring a laboratory where people are being experimented on. As players delve deeper into the story, they uncover the secrets behind the oppressive world, encounter more bizarre creatures, and witness unsettling and weird events. The narrative unfolds through visual storytelling, leaving much of the story open to interpretation. Inside provides a thought-provoking and mysterious experience that lets players stay engaged throughout its relatively short duration. Just like Limbo in terms of its dark and challenging nature, filled with gruesome deaths and jump scares. So trust me when I tell you that this game is really worth your time. Dark Complete Edition is a game that tells the story of Lloyd, a boy who finds himself in the middle of a lucid nightmare. He has to face his fears and decipher the meaning of the dream by bending the laws of physics and manipulating the dream world. Furthermore, he needs to delve into his subconscious to survive his terrifying anguish, as he must navigate through perplexing puzzles, fight off strange creatures, and ultimately break free from the dream realm. This game portrays a realistic nightmare experience as Lloyd is powerless and unable to flee from the bizarre environment he's trapped in. And it is also a psychological experience with a unique art style and a sound design by Bernd Jacobson, the same guy who worked on Cyberpunk 2077. So this is definitely one of those games that Little Nightmares fans will love and appreciate. This interesting game was featured in our last video, and many of you might not be familiar with it because it's actually the only one on the list that hasn't been released yet. It's a cool puzzle platformer that's planned to be released very soon on June 14th, and I honestly believe that it's perfect for today's list because it's not difficult to see how it reminds us of great fun games like Little Nightmares. The story revolves around a young Griffin and his loyal companion Burley the Bear and how they find themselves embarking on a breathtaking journey in a strange and peculiar world that's not very safe to go through. You will navigate through challenging puzzles, evade frightful creatures, and steer clear of hazardous obstacles in pursuit of inner harmony and peace of mind, but it won't be as easy as it sounds. The obstacles here are expected to be sophisticated, and they will require you to be creative so you can find the perfect solution for each problem. You will also explore an enigmatic universe filled with soaring castles, rugged caverns, enchanting woodlands, and even expansive meadows, where you will find yourself forced to improve and adapt to each environment in order to survive and reach an ending to your quest. But if you ask me personally about the best element in this game, I would tell you straight up that it's definitely the amazing connection between the protagonist and his friend, the small teddy bear. which I honestly believe is an aspect that makes this experience even more special than all the other games on the list and even Little Nightmares itself. The presence of the bear makes the journey easier and allows for more scenarios and options for each challenge or puzzle. It is also obvious that the relationship with the bear is very strong and emotional, which contributes to making the actions and cooperation feel very realistic. So when it comes to games that can revive our admiration for Little Nightmares, I really can't think of a more suitable title than this one. And I don't think anyone can disagree on that. So hopefully our thoughts will be confirmed when we get our hands on it on June 14th. I really hope that today's video was informative and useful for all the Little Nightmares fans out there who are searching for similar experiences that can make them realize that there are actually so many options that they're not aware of. However, there is more good news because Little Nightmares 3 was actually confirmed a few weeks ago and is currently under development to be released sometime in the near future. So until then, I think this list is more than enough to keep you busy and give you a really fun time, especially since this type of game is renowned for being an amazing haven from the usual realm of gaming and also a great way to reduce your stress levels that usually go through the roof when playing other kinds of horror games. With that being said, see you in the next video.